Crouse.
Sienna Gilroy, I think, is really terrific in this film.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about working with her.
What you mean, apart from being insane?
Apart from being insane, yeah.
She's great. You know, she's fearless as an actor. She'll just leap off and try anything, do anything. Cares enormously about it. Works really hard, and you know, she's funny. Yeah. So we had a marvelous time together.
Yeah, she struck me as that she is one of the sort of rarities, I think, who can pull off both the the comedy stuff and sort of a fairly dramatic scene. And there's a scene where she's telling a story while sitting on the top of her house, on the roof on the top of her house, that's really touching. And then like 2 seconds later, she's falling off a windmill, you know, doing some slapstick, right? And it's rare that you can find someone who can do it all like that.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the great thing about her, she's not really precious about herself. So that's, you know, and you really need that around comedy, because it's, in order for it to work, you have to be a fool a lot of the time. You have to have people laugh at you, not with you, at you. And she's willing to do that, so it was a lot of fun.
And you're willing to do that as well, I guess. I mean,
well, I have no pride, so you know.
So we're getting near the end here. Let's talk about finding the balance between when enough is enough, comedy-wise. I mean, is there a joke that's too broad? Is there a way of playing stuff that's too broad, or do you just sort of have an innate sense of how far to take the joke or a gag, or because there's a lot of physical humor in this. I mean, we've seen you do comedy a lot of times, and particularly sort of, I'd say Due South was kind of light comedy, also with drama, but this is a much different thing. So tell me about finding the sort of the angle on that.
It's kind of weird. I think it's. You know, people talk about comedy being quite technical, and in a kind of way it is that you play the scene, and when something falls in and it works, then you've got to clock it. You have to know kind of, okay, good, we got to go back and do that again, and try and repeat it. But I think the act of finding the funny piece in it is something that's pretty elusive and operates sort of subconsciously, I guess. And, you know, you can be in a scene with a group of guys. Like, we'll take the Three Village Idiots. And the sort of first encounter with them, when we started rehearsing that scene, it was really kind of, you know, it was sort of funny, but not really funny. And then it just was too kind of lugubrious, really. It was just too slow. And at one point I said, can we just try and like go 5 times as fast? And we speeded it up, and then all of a sudden it locked. Like you can, and then collectively, four people all at once knew that's it.
Right.
And I say, okay, that's it. They say, we should shoot now because we got it. And then you try to kind of go back to that.
Right.
But I learned a certain confidence in the feeling of that's it from Leslie Nielsen, who, you know, in a way kind of invented this comedy, or certainly brought it into its own kind of particular frame. And it was when we were doing a Due South in the first season, and I don't know, I'd done some scene. It seemed sort of funny to me, and then I started fiddling with it, trying to make it more funny.
Yeah.
And he did turn to me and said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm trying to make it more funny. He said, no, Paul, there only is funny. Just, it was funny. Leave it be funny. And that really kind of, it landed inside me, and it stayed ever since.
Right.
Don't question it. Just go with it. And then you'll feel if it's gone off, too. Right. You'll know, oh, shit, we've lost it. Where did that go?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I like the scene, the first scene that you have with the Three Village. No, it's the second scene you have with the Three Village Idiots, when the guy's making the peacemaker. That's that, and you're like, don't do that. Don't do that. The callback to keep saying that. Stop it. Yeah, very funny. That made me laugh because you could just feel your frustration with him building, and you're someone who's used to shooting people for doing much less than that. So I thought it was a funny moment.
That's good.
Paul, thanks so much, and congratulations on Gunless.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Great talking to you, Richard.
There we go. Yay, thanks,
man.